Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the channel. So that's going. Hey guys, welcome. Harrison. Let me know how the volume is. It should be good. I did a little test before. Hopefully you can hear me. it should be working, I think. It's a bit of a dodge setup for now, but we'll get underway soon. Liam, IG, Maddo, what's going on? It's fine. Good to hear. Very good to hear. I'll let some more people filter in, and then we'll start the stream proper. Yeah, I've been meaning to massive score. Oh, dude, I was honestly, I was watching the scores, and I was half getting excited for a potential first place week victory. It was starting to creep into my mind, but yeah, a couple of letdowns. Didn't quite get the top score, but man, oh man, that's easily the best week I've ever done. Who do you think the most overrated player is ever? Oh, I mean the the easy answer is Braith and Asta, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Who's been overrated? Maybe Paul Gallen. I mean, I just don't like Paul Gallen, but, you know, a lot of people don't rate him, but a lot of people do. And Nasta, yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't think there's that many overrated players, in all honesty. If I had a good look at a list, I could probably come up with someone better, but Stags for a double. Oh, dude. So I'm gonna say in this stream, anyone that has Katoni Stags, I repeat, do not sell him this week. Do not sell Katoni Stags. Just don't do it. Honestly, keep him. Just keep him. Worst commentator. Oh, the worst commentator is Michael Ennis. Michael Ennis has been... I never realized how terrible Michael Ennis was as a commentator. But the last couple of weeks, I have literally been like almost putting the game on mute. He has just been just obscenely annoying. Like, he just yells. He just repeats the same shit over and over, and just gets louder and louder, and it's doing my head in. Michael Ennis, I never realized he was that bad, but Ennis far and away is the worst commentator I've ever witnessed. I know a lot of, like, there's some bad ones, but Michael Ennis he's a cut above. He's a cut above. Why does everyone bag Cooper Cronk? I like Cooper Cronk. You know, he's never going to be a commentator that should do, like, a lot of talking. He's not like, you know... Of past, like Peter Sterling and those type of guys that sort of commentate the whole game type thing. But I like Cronk. I think he's good for the one-off comments and stuff like that. I think he's pretty solid. But yeah, let's get into the actual proper stuff here. I'll switch over. So I've got the setup's a bit dodge. I was just trying to set it up nice and quickly. I'll muck around trying to get it like better in the future, but I've got like the chat so you guys can see the chat and so I can see it as well. Unfortunately, whenever I click on the like the screen, the chat will like hide. I gotta like sort out a way to sort of add like it to the scene and stuff, but I'll figure that out at a later date. But I thought I got some time. I'd hop on here, have a chat with you guys about NRL Supercoach. I was just gonna do like because I haven't done like my tips for the stream yet, or for the week, but I thought I'd talk about the games, I'd talk about Supercoach, talk about sort of what I'm doing this week, and I'm still, I think I'm set on what I'm gonna do. Who's the best commentator? Oh, honestly, I don't even know. They all have their moments of annoying me, and that's what's so bad about Sterling gone, dude. He was probably the best by far, but I don't know. There's a couple of decent ones. I still don't mind Voss. I think Voss can get a little bit annoying at times as well. Like, he can get very annoying at times, but I think for the most part, Vossi's pretty okay. Hines captain against Knights. I don't think it's a pod move. I think I've got him as captain at the moment, as you can probably see. I've got Dave Fafita and Fafita is vice, Hines as captain. Obviously, Pappenhausen is a good shout. Tedesco is a good shout. After last week, I think he'll bounce back. Stags, Coates going to play this week. Yeah, I think he's name. Set up Tommy Turbo. I mean, people that went Tommy Turbo at the start of the year, dude. Oh man, that's bit of a kick in the guts now. I would never have spent that money, but you know, quite a few people did. Stags and Bullimore to Fermor and May. Do you think this is a good trade? Yeah, I do like it, although I don't think you should trade Stags. I know everyone's getting rid of Stags, and I know everyone is saying to get rid of Stags. I'm saying don't trade Stags. If you can free up cash to go Bullimore to Fermor another way, I would do that 100% if you can get the money to do that. But I wouldn't trade Stags. Like, I just feel like he's been so bad to start the year. Like, it's going to turn around. And do you really want to have Stags for like the first 3 weeks when he's been terrible, scoring like 30, and then miss out when he goes bang? Like, I wouldn't be shocked. One of my bold predictions this week, Katoni Stags 75 plus, without a doubt. Lock it in. You know, I might be steering you wrong, but I don't know. I think hold Stags. I definitely think hold Stags. All right, before I just keep going on with answering questions, I have to go. Thanks, Liam. Have a good one, mate. Before I keep going with answering questions, we'll do that for sure for the most part of the stream. But I'm just going to go through what I'm doing with trades, because there's a couple of really interesting decisions I could have made. So at the moment, I've gone Jack Bird to Beau Fermor, and I have gone Reed Marty to Tom Starling. Now that leaves me with 270k in the bank. Now, apologies, I can't remember the username that said it. Hopefully, if he's in chat, let me know. But someone said try to get Munster in with the trade boost by going Ilias to Munster. Now, I could do that. But here's the issue that I have. And the way I could do that, Tom Starling comes in. Jack Bird, I could go down to Taylor May. And all, people in the comments, I won't be reading the questions. So if I miss over the question while I'm talking about this, just put the question in later once I sort of finish. I'm not purposely avoiding the questions and stuff. I'm just trying to get the train of thought out before I just go off on a tangent, which I do. But yeah, Beau Fermor wouldn't come in. I would go Jack Bird down to Taylor May. And then that would leave me enough money to go Lachlan Ilias to Cameron Munster. Now that's a very good trade. Don't get me wrong. Ilias to Munster, bring in Taylor May for Jack Bird. You know, Bird is a bit of a loss, but obviously you want to bring in Taylor May at some point anyway. That seems like a fantastic trade. Don't get me wrong. But the problem there's a big problem. If I do that, it means that I'm not going to be able to get Harry Grant. Like, the goal is to trade Randall to Grant next week. And if I do the trade to Munster, I'm not going to be able to get Randall to Grant for a long time. I would really have to downgrade and try to, do something else to try and get in, Grant, or even Cleary would be so far off. So it's a tough one. Don't get me wrong, Karen Munster, he's 650k. He's 650k and he is obviously on fire. Like, he's averaging close to 100. His price is going to go up this week after he scores, and it's going to go up a lot. Like, I feel like Munster, he's going to kill it again. So you do want to bring him in, but I just feel like this is the better way, because the option I'm doing, so obviously I'm bringing in Starling, I'm bringing in for more. Now I think for more is probably just a safer option than Jack Bird anyway. Like, Jack Bird scored a try in a line break last week and only got like 60 odd points. I'm still happy with Bird, and I was sort of 50-50 on trading him, but honestly, Formore has been killing it. I think he's still safe for like 40-50 even without the attacking stats. He's cheaper. He's going to make a bunch more cash, so it was sort of just a good trade to make. And then Tom Starling, I mean, Reed Marnie had to go. I did see someone say that he's going to go 70 plus. 70 plus this week. Where was that? Yeah, Tommy reckons 70 plus. And maybe, I mean, surely Marnie's bread and butter is just like a little short pass to Paulo, close to the line. He barges over. He gets a sneaky try assist, line break assist. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen a few times, but I mean, Marnie, he's just going to leak cash. So I think that's a good trade. And this way, it means I save a trade boost, which I think is pretty valuable. Like, personally, I used one last week. I didn't use any trades in the first week, which is nice. I used the trade boost last week, which was very good. I have 4 left, which means I sort of want to save the trade boost for Origin and the buys. And also, I just want to keep a couple spare, just because you don't, get a couple of injuries, a suspension, a couple of players out with COVID. Like, you're going to want to have the trade boost up your sleeve. So I feel like this way, I keep a trade boost. I get a couple of good players in who are going to make money. And then next week, my plan next week is probably downgrade Katoa to, we'll see. I'm still thinking maybe Piakora. He's sort of bottom dollar cheapy. He comes back. Obviously, he's out for a fair while still, but he probably comes back around that Origin period. And I'm sure he's going to play some games, but that'll net me a bunch of cash. And I did the maths. If I do that trade, then I can go Randall up to Harry Grant, which I think is just pretty good. I miss out on Munster, but if I go Munster, I use a trade boost. I don't get Bo for more, and I'm not going to be able to get Grant or Cleary for a long time to come. So that's sort of the thinking. And also Taylor May, I'm just going to wait a week. I don't think there's any real need to rush Taylor May in this week anyway. They're taking on the Rabbits, who can leak some points, but I don't know. I mean, he might go 100 again, but I just sort of doubt it. They were versing a team with 12 players last week, so I can wait a week there. And yeah, I think I'm pretty much set on the trades. Obviously, the annoying thing here is that I got to keep Bullimore, but I don't know. I was sort of trying to toy around, and if I do the trade boost now and trade Bullimore, I can only, I've got like 500k, but I can't get Payne Haas or Isaiah Papali'i. And then all the other options, I'm just not that keen on. Like, I'm not keen on any of the other options. Probably the only good one is probably Leo Thompson. But again, I'm using a trade boost for seemingly nothing. Like, obviously, I'm going to make a bit of cash, but you never know. I mean, Bullimore is on the bench. I'm just hoping that Hasler uses Bullimore as a middle forward coming through the rotation. And at the end of the day, if he starts losing a bit of money, I'm not too concerned. I would like to get rid of him, but there's just not that many good ones to go. What's Timothy say? If you go former, you could get tailor-made next week for Katoa. Yeah, that's a good option as well. Actually, yeah, that's a very good option, because I was thinking about it then. I'm like, who do I go because I might have had to use a trade boost to get Taylor May in if I downgraded Katoa to a second rower. So yeah, that's a pretty good option. I would like to keep Fermor in the center wing, but it's not the be and end all, so to speak. So yeah, I don't mind it. I think the team is coming together nicely. And honestly, Katoa, like, I don't mind keeping him as well. I know a lot of people, like, get rid of Katoa. But, I mean, he went off last week with an injury. I think he made, like, 3 tackle busts in his limited minutes. Like, he was looking pretty solid. If he just can, if he can just stay on the pitch for like, a good length of time, he'll score well. So I'm not even that. Like, I probably will get rid of Katoa, but honestly, if he comes out and kills it this week, you know, someone like a Tamalolo, potentially, I could downgrade, maybe. But, I don't know. Probably Katoa is the guy to go. But we'll see. We'll see how things shake up. But, yeah, this leaves me with 270k in the bank. And overall, pretty happy. The reserves, Nenai, Tuolangi, Schneider, Tedesco. Obviously, there's a choice here, Penasini or Billy Smith, but the Roosters are taking on the Cowboys and the Eels are taking on the Dragons. You know, it's a tough one, but I feel like Smith is surely due for a couple of tries, right? He's surely due for a try soon. And then yeah, I've got my front row is a little it's a little scuffed because obviously Arrow is a gun, but Josh King, I mean, he's been killing it, but like, he's not going to score that many every week. So I'm a bit like, I don't really know what to do with the front row. I'm just sort of, I don't know. I'm just sort of waiting for a good option to come to a head. But I don't know. Honestly, running like a cheap front row option, I think it's sort of the go-to this year. I don't really have a desire to get in Payne Haas that much. Honestly, Isaiah Papali'i is probably the guy you want to get, but he is just so expensive. But yeah, that's sort of that's the team. I'm pretty much set on those trades. You know, it's a bit late now to really be trying to flip it because I'll just stuff it up, and be mad when I do. But yeah, the rest of the stream here, I'll just answer some questions. We'll just go through. Talk to you guys about Supercoach, about the league, see how things are going. Let's have a quick gander here. What's your score? What's the score predictions for Titans-Tigers game? Oh, I'm tipping the Titans. I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring game because, I mean, it's the Titans. The Tigers, I feel like the Tigers are going to come out and fire up in this one. And I don't know. I can see another like 30 to 20. I'll go I'll go 30 to 20 to the Titans. And I'll go for Feeder to get a double and crack a ton. That's my prediction for the Titans game. But who knows, honestly. Who is your favorite player this season? I don't know. I mean, Nanai's impressed me, and not just his 3 tries last week. He just gets involved. For a 19-year-old kid that's not that big, I love watching him play. He is he's a genuine star of the future for sure. He looks very good. Payne Haas might go to Roosters. I doubt that. I think he'll stay at the Bronx. Do you want Payne Haas to leave? No, I'd rather him stay at the Broncos. I think the Broncos need him. What are your plans for Dylan Brown? You keep him long haul? I mean, honestly, I think keep Brown up until the Origin period. Honestly. Maybe in a few weeks, potentially could swing Dylan Brown to Cody Walker, because I doubt Cody Walker will play Origin, and I think from memory the Rabbitohs season starts to get pretty nice in a few weeks. So potentially when Brown and Cody Walker get a little bit more level pegging in terms of price, could definitely see myself shifting Brown to Cody Walker. I think that's probably the go. And then there's so many players. Like I want, Cleary. Obviously Cleary's a few weeks away for me. Probably, I don't know, probably a while away, honestly. Cameron Munster, I definitely want in. Cody Walker, like I said, I think in a few weeks he'd be pretty good to go. But yeah, and then Harry Grant. But other than that, like I don't know. There's not that many other players that are really standing out to get. It's sort of the big guns that you're sort of waiting for the prices to drop a little bit. Let Haas go, spend the money on a good fullback? Nah. The Broncos, it hasn't worked with Tessie, but the Broncos will always have like a good young kid coming through that can play fullback. I mean, you look at the last few years. They lost Reece Walsh. They lost was Kalen Ponga at the Broncos originally and then went to the Cowboys? I think he might have been, right? But regardless, the Broncos will always have these young kids that are going to come through, but getting a front rower like Payne Haas is not that likely. He's like the best prop in the game, and you need to keep someone like that. I feel like it's just very beneficial because without the go forward, the fullback can't really do that much. It's nice to have a gun fullback. Don't get me wrong, but I think the Haas situation is better. Bo Formore isn't playing. What? Mate, he's out with COVID. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, that's really stuffed me up. Well, honestly, do I just? I don't know. Like I was so. Ooh, that's thrown it into turmoil a little bit. Hopefully, one thing I'm hoping is that Fafita goes to the left edge because that's where all the good footy the Titans play is going. If Fafita goes to the left edge, 150 plus in this game if he goes to the left. But that okay. So I've got to get honestly. I'd probably just get Taylor May then instead of Fermor. And then next week we'll just go Katoa to Fermor, I think. I think that's probably what we do. Because I was looking at like Zach Lomax I really wanted to get, and he was like 500k, which is still really cheap for Lomax. I wanted him in, but if I went Lomax, I wouldn't quite have enough to go Randall up to Grant next week, so I can't really do that. Yeah. Looking at getting in Cody Walker next week. Bit of a rough start, but we'll be cheap next week and see us have a nice draw. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. But I think I'll probably just keep Brown for a little bit longer. Or maybe, maybe Ilias goes up to Walker. And maybe we just sort of death ride Munster a little bit. Maybe we just death ride Munster and hope he falls away. But I doubt it. What's the score predictions for Warriors Broncos? I'm tipping the Bronx. I think it'll be a tight game. The Broncos, they're hit or miss, and I think the Warriors, they're a team that can turn it on at any moment. So I don't know. I'll probably go. What do you reckon? 24-12 to the Bronx. If they pay Haas $1 million a season, I don't know. Well, we'll see how it shakes up. Honestly, it's always. It's hard to read into what players are really on and what's going on. Like all the stuff in the media is very it's very disingenuous. I'll say that. There's a lot of shit going on that, managers and stuff trying to boost up prices. Like it's a lot of nonsense at the end of the day. Haas had a meeting with the Bulldogs. Why buy a halfback? We can buy the Bulldogs bought Haas. I mean, that'd just be funny at that point, honestly. They can assemble like one of the best teams on paper, but they'll never win a comp. That is for sure. No, we need Payne Haas. It is a difficult position. They made him in a hard position. Yeah. he's playing. On Twitter at the moment, can't confirm, but lots of posts saying he's out. I guess lucky it's the first game in the round. We'll know for certain. Thank God. Honestly, thank God it's the first game. Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much because you can still reverse the trade after the first game, I think. Yeah, I think so. If they haven't played, so it's not too bad, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't really want to have to switch it. I like it the way it is now, but we'll see. I don't like the uncertainty. That's a little bit annoying. I really hope Zarko has a great game tonight. He's a beast. Honest, dude. I that's the one thing I'm pretty salty about as a Broncos fan. Why did they let Zarko go? Like, don't get me wrong. I've bagged Zarko plenty of times because he comes up with some shockers, but when he is on, he's as good a fullback as anyone in the comp when he is in form. And I guess I'm glad he went to the Titans rather than the Eels because I thought they announced on Twitter they were like he's going to the Eels and then 2 seconds later, signed with the Titans. So I was happy he went to the Titans, and honestly he fits in perfectly because bloody Campbell's out. So that's beautiful. And yeah, I mean Azarko, it's a great signing for the Dolphins as well. I think under Wayne Bennett, Azarko can go to another level. Hopefully just the consistency can maintain because he is a good player. He is a very good player, 100%. And I think he will have a good game. Check the NRL late mail from 5 minutes ago. Proctor taking his position. Okay, so Fermor is out. Okay. So that's it's staying a little spanner. So yeah, I think alright. I think at that point, yeah, we just go instead of Fermor, we just switch it to Taylor May. Yeah, you know, it misses out on sort of the safe points of Fermor, but you know, Taylor May could score another double this week. Who knows? He could score well, so I'm not too displeased, and then we can decide what we do next week with Fermor, if we bring him in or, you know, find someone else. Can I 1v1 you in Rugby League Live 4? Maybe one day. Honestly, I don't know. I just don't really play online that much. And honestly, I don't get that much time to actually play. I don't get that much time to play Rugby League Live 4 anymore. It's been a bit hectic. I get on, play a few games of my career modes, and then that's all I can do. Should I play Tuolangi or Schneider? I would go Schneider because Raiders versus the Seagulls. I think it's going to be a wet game again, so maybe it won't be a high-scoring game, but I think Schneider has what it takes to still, you know, even without like a lot of attacking stats, I still think he'll get like, you know, 40 points. So I think Schneider's pretty safe, but honestly, Tuolangi tonight against the Titans, I've got Tuolangi as reserve. Actually, you know what? Scrap that. Who said that? Tim? Who are your other three reserves? Because personally, I'd play Tuolangi and Schneider. Who are your other three reserves that you're definitely reserving? Because I would play Tuolangi and Schneider. I'm tipping Tuolangi to go 70 plus tonight. I reckon he scores a try. And he kills it against a pretty weak defensive Titans outfield. Yeah, Fermi got COVID. Yeah, disappointing. Luckily, I mean, I would have checked Twitter before I started watching the game anyway. But I guess it's a good thing everyone let me know rather than if you guys wanted to play a rude little prank on me, you could have just not said anything. I would have been stuffed. Do you remember Azarko's winning try against the... Oh, dude. I couldn't forget that one. It was... He moved... Oh, the way he moves better than anyone in the comp. Like, 100%. I mean, Tuivasa-Sheck had the fastest step in league. Azarko, he goes both directions so well. honestly, he's one of my favorite players. I just love watching him play because when he's on form, he looks so good. He looks so incredibly, he just moves so well. Go for Schneider. Tuolangi won't get enough points, man. Latrell Mitchell should go to the Broncos. I mean, I'd take him. I would take him. Bit of a grub, but I'd take him. I love that in my team. I don't mind being the team that's the grubby one. Olakau'atu, Teddy, and Tupanua. It's a pretty strong bench. Yeah, I guess you've got to play all those. Jeez, who are you starting? Who are your starting back rowers? So you got Olakau'atu and Tupanua. Who are your other three? I'm sorry, I'm just going through your whole team here, but who are your three starting back rowers? Like, my God, you got some pretty handy forwards there. If that is your best option, I don't know, honestly. Go to Tuolangi. I'm calling it now, and if I'm wrong, you can be mad at me, and I apologize, but I would go to Tuolangi tonight. I'd go to Tuolangi over Schneider. I think the Seagulls potentially against the Raiders could turn up and belt them, potentially. I am tipping the Raiders, but the Seagulls, you just never know. They come out and absolutely kill it, and it's also in wet weather conditions, so I would go to Tuolangi. What do you think of Tigers on the pokies? I mean, it's just nonsense. Like, they didn't do anything like against their sort of team rules or anything, so there's no issue. There's no issue at all. Like, I just find it funny with the NRL, like, the betting and stuff is like such a big sponsor and is so like integral to the monetary gain of like NRL clubs, but if a player is on like the pokies at 10 o'clock, it's all hell. But yeah, I don't know. There's no issue at all in my mind. What do you think of the new coaching system for Queensland? I mean, I like it. Whether or not at the end of the day, like, it's origin. It's what a lot of people say. Like, there's not that much more. It's not like NRL coaching where you've got to really be constructing sort of plays and getting the whole team to gel. It's origin. Like, everyone knows most people know what they're meant to do, and it's meant to be the best of the best. So if the three stars of Queensland can get the confidence and just inspire the boys, I think it's a good idea. I mean, my God, Brad Fittler is the coach of New South Wales, one of the worst coaches in existence. So it doesn't matter who the coach is. My fucking God, Fittler is a joke. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. My last reserve, Tuolangi or Max King. Oh, Tuolangi 100%. I mean, Max King has looked incredible, but he's not getting the minutes. I mean, he could still bang out 50, but Tuolangi has the potential to go 70 plus. He's definitely a try scorer. He's definitely a tackle breaker, and he should play big minutes after missing last week. So yeah, go Tuolangi 100%. Who do you go for Blues of Queensland? Oh, Queensland, of course. It's going to be a dry track in Mudgee for the Manly Raiders game. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was going to be wet, but okay, that changes it. But also, it also plays into Manly's hands a bit more with a dry track. So I don't know. I'm still. If Tuolangi doesn't get 50 plus, shout me out. What if he does? What do you give me? Oh, he'll get 50 plus. I got no qualms about that. He'll go 50 plus, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. Unless he gets like benched or something. If he gets benched, then it's not my fault. Carrigan, Isaiah Papali'i, and Tamalolo. Whew. Okay, that honestly, I like that. Carrigan, I was very keen on at the start of the year, but I just sort of, I don't know. I lost a little confidence. Just wasn't sure of minutes, but he's been killing it because he's one of the best forwards in the game. Papali'i, I mean, I feel like not many people would have gone him because of the price, but again, like he's so safe, and he also just has incredible upside. And then Tamalolo, very good as well. So yeah, you got a stacked middle, stacked back row. But I would still, I would still go to Alangi if you're still thinking. But at the end of the day, follow your gut, because if you're thinking of one dude and then you switch it, you're gonna be pissed if if the other guy goes well. So just go who you personally think will do better, because it's a toss of the coin really with those two. I think they'll both score well. I'll tell all my friends to subscribe. Alright, bet. Out of Thomas Flegler and Gamble, who's better? I mean, they're pretty different positions, but I mean Flegler, I would say Flegler. He's that's right. He's back this week, so I think Flegler's a decent guy to sort of keep an eye on for Supercoach. He's starting on the bench, but I mean for sure he gets the starting spot back, and he was offloading just incredibly last week. So honestly, he's a guy Bullimore. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think Flegler is a guy I'm going to try to get in to be that second front row spot, because I can see him having a pretty big season when he comes back. Do you reckon Ezra Mam at fullback could work? No, I don't think so. I think he's a little bit small to play fullback, and I know that sounds a little weird. I mean, there obviously are some small fullbacks with like Dufty and Campbell. And playing in the front line, you got to make more tackles. But I don't know. I don't think he is a fullback. I think he's best in the halves, so there's no need to throw him into fullback. I don't think he would. You just sort of be throwing him to the wolves, so I wouldn't do that. On Supercoach Whisperer, my comments don't show up there. Maybe. What, you say something rude? Did he block you? How long will Deed and Townsend last, you reckon? I mean, if they keep winning, then they'll last forever. Like, I still think that Drinkwater should be in the team, and I think out of those two, Dearden has been the better player, but they're not going to drop Townsend. So I don't know. I mean, if they keep going well, then it doesn't really matter, honestly. Do you know any recent news about Rugby League Live 5? No, unfortunately. I am expecting the game to come out like late this year, probably around finals time. I don't know, but that's sort of my expectations. What's your ranking? I am ranked. We'll have a look. What am I? So that's what I'm talking about with the chat. I gotta like sort out sort of the way to do it. We are, what are we? 1235. So just out of the top 1,000. As you can see, if you didn't watch last week, that we got 43 for the round 3 rank, and shot up a lot. So pretty nice. Apparently, Fermor is out. Yeah. It's been confirmed that Fermor is out. So if you have Fermor, if you traded in Fermor this week, then trade him out. And if you're playing him, make sure you switch him to someone else. You reckon I bring Grant in now or Starling, then Grant over Randall next for price rises? Yeah, I personally, I think that's the better way to do it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Starling could come out and get like 40 this week, and Grant could come out and bang 100. So it's not clear cut, but I think that is probably the better way in terms of just getting more bang for your buck, because Grant isn't going to go up in price. So I think it's the better idea. I'll play Tuolangi just so I got someone to watch tonight. Yeah, that's definitely the way I do it as well. Like, especially a Thursday night game, the first game of the round. If I've got an option to play someone that's playing, I'm like, yeah, 100%. The name was inappropriate. It had Penasini. I spelled it inappropriately. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, before I forget, let's let's undo the firmware change. So yeah, let's undo the firmware change, and I guess like, so if we look at the center wings, so I mean Herbie has been killing it, but the guy I want is Zach Lomax. But unfortunately, if I go Lomax, I'm not quite going to be able to go Randall to Grant next week. I probably could if I use my trade boost, but I don't really want to. So I want Lomax though, but I'm just gonna go with the safe option here of Taylor May. Where is he? There he is. You know, I'm not expecting 100 again, but I think it's just sort of the easy option now with Fermor out. I guess the other option now is do I play Taylor May or Penasini? The Eels are taking on Dragons. I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you guys reckon? Penasini or Taylor May? Should I start Penasini or Kurt Mann? Kurt Mann, 100%. If you have Kurt Mann, you've got to play Kurt Mann. Like, otherwise, why even have him? Like, come on, got to play Kurt Mann. Do you reckon there's any recent retired players in the NRL from the recent years who could return and still do good? Yeah, for sure, probably. I mean, Cameron Smith could probably come back and do an okay job, honestly. He never really exerted himself too much as it was. Benny Barber, yeah. Oh, man, it's disappointing what happened with Benny Barber. I mean, he's his own worst enemy, and it's his own fault, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because he was quite the player. Penasini for sure over May. Play Taylor May, so people are divided. I don't know. I mean, Panthers, Rabbitohs have been better, but Panthers get Cleary back. The Rabbitohs haven't been that good defensively. The Eels taking on Dragons, and you might be like, oh, Dragons have been terrible, but not really. Like, I feel like the Dragons have been pretty unlucky. I mean, quite a few sin bins have sort of ruined their games, but I think defensively they've been okay. I don't know. I'm thinking Taylor May, honestly. I'm thinking Taylor May. Hindy should return. Oh, God. Oh, he's a big boy now. I don't think he would last too long. I don't think he would last too long. Do you think Kurt Mann will play over 65 minutes? I mean, he should. Even with Bennett, even with Barnett there, I think Kurt Mann was gonna play over 65 minutes. He's just been, and again, that's the other reason with Mann. Like a couple of weeks ago, he had like a concussion he had to go off for. Last week, I think last week he also had to go off with a head knock, which was a bit of nonsense. But the week before that, he had like an injury. Like, I was watching that game and I was like, he's not running the footy at all. And then it came out later that he was carrying like a rib problem or something, and it made a lot of sense. I was like, yeah, because he was just playing like a halfback, just passing the ball. But last week he sort of showed what he can do, and I think, you know, the Knights are a better team with him on the field. So I'm expecting big minutes from Mann, as long as he's fit. Cleary might play Rusty. Honestly, he might. I'm expecting Cleary to come back and sort of just perform like normal. Honestly, he's sort of that type of player that will just come back and do the exact same thing he has been. Oh, Jiao Yi. Oh man, that still breaks my heart to this day whenever I hear that dude. He was gonna be probably the greatest winger to ever play the game if he didn't get injured. Like, he was something else. He was freakishly good. Yeah. That's the worst. That's the worst. Oh, it makes me so sad to think about that one, dude. I'm going for Grant instead of Hines, Cleary. Yeah. I mean, personally, I'd probably go Hines over those two. If I had the choice between Grant, Hines, or Cleary, I'd probably be going Hines because I feel like Hines is just the way he plays. He doesn't even have to look good in the games. Like there's been like the first couple of weeks, he did not look good. I don't care what anybody says. He did not look good on the field, but he just scored a lot of points. Just his like crabbing runs across field where he doesn't really go into the line, but he just sort of palms off a player. Like he's getting tackle bust for all of those little nonsense runs. Like he just scores well. So I don't know. And then Cleary is too expensive, and I think Grant. I don't know. Grant is going to be the best dummy half, but I don't know. I'd go for Hines, honestly. But I'm not trying to talk you out of Grant. I mean, Grant is going to kill it again this week, so don't be put off by that. That's just my opinion. Go Taylor with Cleary and Luai back together. Yeah, I mean that's sort of the plan. I'm gonna go Taylor. I just feel like there's probably more upside. I think Penasini is probably more safe, even though he only got 21 last week. I think Penasini is generally going to be that 40-point player, but Taylor may probably, he has the potential to go large like he did last week. It's not going to happen again, but we'll see. Seahawks have had good defense this year, only averaging 12 against. Yeah, true. True, but they haven't versed a great team. Although they did verse the Roosters, but the Roosters were terrible. So I don't know. I'm not going to think about it too much. It's one of those decisions that you could go either way. It's a coin flip. An outside back, you just don't know who's going to score on the day. So I'm going to go Taylor May. I have Sean Lane in my team. Do you rate that? I mean, Sean Lane occasionally does pretty good stuff. Like he can definitely hit a hole. He's got an offload, but he's just so inconsistent. Like he'll score like 70 plus a couple of weeks in a row, get a try, but then he comes out and does nothing. Like he just doesn't touch the ball. It's a good pod. Like it's not a bad pod, but I mean I like Tupanua. Tupanua's been very good. He's sort of been their go-to player this year, so I like that. Can I get a shout out? Retro Rampage 22. There you go, buddy. Bring back Petro. Big Petro. What a player. I think May will just be similar to Staines in popping off every now and then. Yeah, potentially, but I think May is more of the To'o-esque. You know, he is a guy that gets in and takes a lot of runs. Charlie Staines doesn't do that, so I think May is probably safer. But yeah, playing outside of Tago, who has been an absolute monster, I think it's pretty nice for him. Lol, South played Roosters in Melbourne. Oh, that's right, they played Melbourne. Did they only... I thought Melbourne... Did they only score 12 points against... how many points did Melbourne score against them? I honestly can't even remember that game. Do you know why Fermor is out? COVID. Apparently got COVID. It must have been late. Like they only like announced it on Twitter like a little bit ago. But yeah, he's out with COVID. So yeah, if you didn't know, then make sure you change up your team to allocate him somewhere. Kiri will bounce back. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I was so keen on Kiri to start the year, but for some reason I just sort of... I talked myself out of it, and I'm glad I did because I just don't feel like Kiri is gonna... He's just not consistent because he doesn't have goal kicking, and he's not like a... Dylan Brown doesn't have goal kicking or Cameron Munster, but they do a lot of work. Like, they make a lot of tackles, they don't miss many, they take a lot of runs. Kiri doesn't really do that, so even when he gets like those try assists, he's not getting like 30 points in base on top of the tries, so... I don't know. Personally, if you have Kiri, I think still hold him, but I wouldn't be expecting him to kill it every week. And I think you probably know that going into it, but yeah, it is what it is. Are you upset that Xavier Coates left? Not really. I mean, I like Coates, but the Broncos have so many outside back options that I'm not that disappointed. And I'm happy to see him at the Storm. I think as a footy standpoint, I think he'll just get better playing at the Storm than at the Broncos, in all honesty. 15 against Melbourne, 16 against Roosters. Yeah, I guess they've been better than what I've thought. I don't know. I mean, last week I was impressed, but yeah, I still think the Panthers can put some points on them. Are you gonna watch tonight's game? Of course I am. Do you think I should sell him for Schneider right now? Oh yeah, if you don't have Schneider, I think that's a pretty good trade. Yeah, 100%. Because I don't know. I mean, I think Schneider will probably average similar to Keary over the season. I think, maybe like, a bit into the season, Schneider might get found out a little bit and his scores might dropping because he's a young kid, rookie coming in. But, to start the year, I think Schneider's going to average pretty well and, you're going to make a lot of cash. So I think that's probably the trade to go, honestly. I mean, Schneider's the cheapie of the year almost. Even though he's only played 2 games. I'm calling it now. He's going to be the cheapie of the year. Nico Hines or Cleary? At the moment, Nico Hines, 100%. Like was he like 250? How much is Cleary? Is Cleary $1 million or like 900 plus? Regardless, I mean, Hines is like 100 to 200k cheaper. I think Hines at the moment is going to average as much as Cleary anyway. Like I can't see Cleary coming out and averaging over 100 points. And I can't see Hines really. I mean, he's not going to be averaging 100 in a few weeks, but I can't see him dropping that much more. So I would take Hines. I know everyone is hell bent on getting Cleary in, but I mean, you've got Hines as doing pretty much the same thing as Cleary, just not playing for as good a team. So yeah, I don't mind just sticking with Hines for the long term. I definitely want to get Cleary in, but yeah, I'd definitely go with Hines to start things off. Yeah, we'll wrap the stream up here in a second. If you guys have any more sort of pressing questions or anything like that, but yeah, we'll wrap it up and then we'll get ready to watch the Thursday night footy action. It's been fun, honestly. Like I said at the start, I don't even know if I did say it, but I was gonna say I've been meaning to do this for a while, but just sort of I haven't had time to do it before the first game of the season. But yeah, I had some time this Savi to set a few things up, and I was like, let's just get in and do it. Like I love doing streams, and this is a fun way to do the streams because I can interact with chat more rather than playing a game, and also it's Supercoach Nrl talk. I love doing it. Hot take Supercoach wise. Okay, so I did say a couple of things. So for Feeder, I'm going for Feeder 2 tries, 100 plus this game. We'll go. You know what? I'm gonna go Tommy Turbo 150 plus, and I'm going to Katoni Staggs 75 plus. Like I said at the start, if you have Katoni Staggs, and if you've traded him out this week, reverse that trade and keep Katoni Staggs because he's going to come good. And I feel like if you put 3 weeks into him, you've got to keep him. So yeah, they're my hot takes for this week. So yeah, hopefully guys enjoyed. It was good fun. And yeah, hopefully we all do well in Supercoach this week. I'm hoping that, we had a killer week last week. I'm just hoping we can stay steady. I don't want to go from like 1,300 back to like 900. I want to keep around that, 1,100, 1,200 mark. I'd be pretty happy with. If we look at the projected, it doesn't actually have it. Usually it has it even if I don't have Supercoach Plus. I don't know. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, thanks for guys for coming out. We'll end the stream now, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.